Hey everybody, it's Thursday, July the 23rd, and I decided to take the day off as part of my transition into retirement. I'm currently working 4 days a week. Hopefully, down the road, that'll become 3 days a week. That's my plan, anyways. And what I'd like to share with you guys is how I'm using passive income to achieve these goals and how I've used specific ETFs to get there as well. My name is Paul, and for those of you who don't know, this is my new channel, Better Call Paul. So back in 2022, Harvest ETFs launched their first fund of funds. For those of you who don't know, it's the Harvest Diversified Monthly Income Fund. The ticker is HDIF. So this fund of funds basically holds other Harvest ETFs. I think there's five or six in the fund, and because of this, you have exposure to 11 of the different sectors. The top three sectors being financials, technology, and healthcare. Now, this being a fund of funds, it's a medium risk ETF, right? But with a covered call strategy to boost the dividend. This particular fund has a focus on income and growth. Now, what I decided to do was I used distributions from other ETFs to buy this one. I was buying it on a monthly basis over the course of, I believe, a year, maybe a year and a half. Got to the point where I had 1,500 shares. Now, it was bringing in $106 a month in distributions, which was great. I was using that money to buy other ETFs. But in the end, I decided that I would sell this ETF, which was paying approximately a 10% yield, and I would use that money to move into something else. At the time, ENCL, I spoke about ENCL the other day in another video, had dipped, right? I guess the price of oil had come down, ENCL was on a bit of a low, and the dividend yield was just over 20% at the time. So I decided to sell all my shares of HDIF and on the same day purchase ENCL. So with the new shares of ENCL that I had, I would be earning $176 a month. So essentially, I increased my distributions, my dividends, my monthly income by $70 a month, which is $840 a year. Now, when you're not, I was at the point where I wasn't really contributing to my investments anymore. So I was always looking for ways to still increase my monthly income without having to deposit more or fund more money into my accounts. So I found that this was one way where I could take a certain ETF that I had and sell it, purchase another ETF at a higher dividend yield. And what I like to do is I like to wait until that particular ETF, in this case being HDIF, was in the green, right? So I can't remember exactly what I bought it at. I was buying it under $8. Lots of different buys. At one point, I was buying it daily. I set it up to buy $13 a day, which is another strategy you can use to buy ETFs, a weighted dollar cost average into them, but mostly under $8. And then I ended up selling it for $8.40. So I can't remember what the percentage was exactly, but I was in the green, plus all of the dividends that I had earned while I was holding it. So by doing this, you get the capital appreciation, you get the dividends, and at the same time, you're moving the money into a newer or better ETF with a higher distribution yield. Now, this technique, I would say, is for somebody who wants to accelerate their monthly income, right? You're not as concerned about the share price of the ETF. You're more concerned with the yield. So HDIF has probably been a little bit smoother. The share price has probably not fluctuated as much as ENCL, but you're not getting as much dividend out of it. So for me, this is one of the ways that I've used in the last 2 or 3 years to get to where I am today. By, as these fund managers keep releasing new products, I take a look at what I have, what positions in my portfolio I might be willing to sell off in order to buy an ETF at a higher dividend yield. So essentially what I did was I had HDIF, I sold my shares, I bought ENCL. Now, I'm not saying that HDIF is a bad ETF to hold. In fact, I might buy it again somewhere down the road as a more conservative play in my portfolio to kind of like balance out my monthly payments. But for now, it's not something that I need to have in my portfolio. However, as all of you know, Harvest has come out with some fantastic ETFs in the past 6 or 8 months that I would like to discuss with you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put together another video where we talk about the new Harvest funds like HHIS and MSTE and how those funds in the past, say, 6 months have really skyrocketed my monthly income. Anyways, hope everybody enjoyed the video. Just a reminder, these videos are for entertainment. I'm sharing my journey with you. This is not financial advice. I can't tell you guys what you should and shouldn't buy. So, I hope you guys enjoy the videos, but please make sure you do your own research, do your own due diligence and know what you're buying before you buy it. And until the next time, have a good day. Bye for now.